How many things did you postpone until you felt worthy of doing them? And did you actually ever did those things? This is not just a sentence, it's a question for you to ask yourself. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that is great, because being uncomfortable is how we grow. Let's get back to this question. How many things did you postpone until you felt like you were worthy doing them? Because I did it so many times. The first example that comes to my mind is I always used to do my nails right before my birthday, because I didn't feel like I was worthy doing them on any other day. Birthday birthday justifies everything. It's my birthday, I could do this, I could get this piece of cake that was so expensive, but I'm gonna treat myself. And I would justify so many things. And I feel like it would be only on my birthday or when I would like achieve something so big, which is not happening often because I always increase what I need to achieve. Like, oh, it'd be great to do this. And then, while I'm here, I'm raising it to here. And when I'm here, I'm raising it to here. And it just goes like this. And then I'm depressed in my room and think, why do I never achieve things? Why am I always behind? Why I'm always down? Why nothing ever works out for me? But little did I know, I sabotage myself by constantly raising the bar for myself. And that is part of toxic productivity, which I think I should have to work on, and I do work on, but this video is not about me. It is actually, but not about me as a person, about my opinions and the things I have to say. I used to postpone doing my nails or buying something nice to myself until my birthday, and this year I spent my birthday as a regular day. Regular day off, we would say, right? I didn't have work and I would read, I would watch a TV show or a movie, or I didn't. I don't remember. I would, meet some friends, not just to hang out, just to plan something. It would be just a regular day. I always felt like I have to do something so extraordinary on my birthday. Like last year, when I was turning 18 years old, I thought that it would be a great idea to run 18 miles on my 18th birthday. Okay, not 18 miles, 18 kilometers. Because 18 miles is more than 18 kilometers, and I would be technically lying to you, which I don't want to do because you're only like 4 minutes into the video and I don't want to lie to you. Okay? We wait for things to be worthy for them to do something, and we also exhaust ourselves by trying to be extraordinary for some event. For New Year's Eve, for example. I don't like makeup. I love makeup. I don't like applying it on myself. And when I was like a teen, we would have these I'm still a teen technically. When I was 15, I guess, me and my friends would have New Year's Eve party. Me and my friend were like, okay, there's gonna be boys, let's do makeup, let's dress nice, whatever. I would go out my way to do it. I would wash my hair in the same day. I would apply makeup. I would wear clothes that I'm uncomfortable with, just to put this extra effort, just to who knows what was in my head, to make someone like me, just I would exhaust myself, and it would be the shirt I would be in was uncomfortable, and like my face was like uncomfortable because of the makeup, because of the foundation, because I didn't used to it. But I was going out of my way to impress someone, I guess, because I wasn't doing it for me. I didn't enjoy any of it. I cannot really give your examples of when you delayed something until you felt worthy, because I don't know you. I could only speak on myself. And as an example with nails, I say I also postponed getting some books, which is a very great idea. I have a lot of unread books, so maybe that one is not gonna be categorized as waiting for things to be worthy. If we're not gonna be talking about things or something like that, if we're gonna talk about people and relationship with people, there are types of people, and I'm one of those people, who postpone themselves relationship-wise until they're ready to be in a relationship. Like, I don't know if it made sense. Okay, so basically, I postpone myself having a relationship because I don't feel worthy of having a relationship. And it's not coming from the way of like, oh, this person is so great, I don't feel worthy of him. No, I don't think that way. I think that I could be better. I could be a better version of myself until jumping into a relationship. And for some reason, it's deeply embedded in me that that's how it should be. You know, if it's not gonna be the best version of yourself, then you know, why are you going to date someone? You know, but also I'm not a project. I'm a human being, and if I'm gonna meet a person that I like, why not date him? You know, why not date that person, even if I'm not 100% perfect? Because I'll never be. I'm never going to be 100% perfect. And so maybe in the middle of me becoming perfect, I'll be like, I don't want a relationship, and that's fine. And then after like my peak of being perfect, or you know, I'll be perfect for myself, but then my, I don't know, appearance will start to wither. I'll get older, and then and then society will tell me you're not worthy of having a relationship right now, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay, I won't. Okay, and then you know you'll try your whole life to be perfect, but that is also very exhausting, because the most cases what happens is person is trying to be this, you know, perfect person, trying to get a relationship, trying not to get a relationship, just trying to build their career or whatever. I feel like in most cases it's career, and then something along the way happens. They meet a very chill person or something who's like, why do you do this, you know, why, just relax a little bit, and that person's like, yeah, okay. I don't mean it in a negative way. It could be a negative way. It also could be very beneficial to the person, for the person to stop that toxic productivity. You know, really depends on the person they meet. A lot of cases also where people meet that person and they, okay, I'm gonna settle for you. Being with you will require me not going there or like achieving this thing, but I'll settle because I love you so much. But I feel like in that case it's more attachment than love that happens, and then a person starts to resent the other person because of like, if not you, I would be somewhere else in life. Do you know what I lost for you? Do you know what I sacrificed to be with you? And we've seen a lot of scenes like that in movies, and I've seen a couple. Okay, no, I have not seen anyone do it in like real life or something. Yeah, I've seen people fight a lot on the street, especially through the window. Don't know what they're fighting for? No, but if I'll stick around for longer, I could find out. But also, no, I don't want to. So, movies is the only, like, I feel, example to me, because even on my own relationship history, which is very funny, but I'll still share it. I have an avoidant attachment style. So I didn't know it at the time. So I didn't know I'm hurting people. I didn't know that I'm being, you know, I just realized it. I mean, not just, but like a few years ago, I realized that it was a very bad decision to be in a relationship when you're not ready to work on your avoidant attachment style. Because if person has an action attachment style and they're like, why are you not texting me? Why are you not picking up your phone? When can we go out? I'm so bored. I'm like, dude, get as far away from me as possible. But also, if a person is avoidant attachment style, I'm like, where are you? I miss you so much. I love you. I want to be with you, you know. And that is the worst case scenario, because I'm both, depending on the person I'm with. With a friendship, it doesn't work. I don't really care. I'm secure attachment style in friendship. I think so. I guess. I don't know. I hate texting, but that is the only thing that is like off with me in friendship. Is just, I hate texting. I could get overwhelmed and I'm like, I don't want to text you back. Because there's so many voice messages. Like, sorry, ban, but I will not be reading all of them. And yeah, I have one friend who's just like, I'll send her something, like a little voice messages, and the only time I'll get an answer is when we will hang out in real life. That is not funny. I could send her a voice message and we could only see each other like in the week, and she'll be like, and I would ask her whatever I ask in that voice message, and she's like, yeah, okay, and like, you know, give me an answer. I'm like, why didn't you, like, you know, I know that you use your phone, I know that you have social media, that you check your phone regularly, why have you not answered? And she's like, well, you know, and I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't know why you didn't do that, you know? But yeah, I feel like everyone has their own quirks in that sense. So, what was leading to what attachment style is that I, for some reason, at the time, and also now, I don't know if I'm now very focused on like improving myself in a sense. I feel like I always am, but not to the point of how I was a few years ago. And I was in a relationship, and when people are in a relationship, it's assumable to assume. It's reasonable to assume that you would see each other, hang out, and like go on dates, whatever. You know, not with me. I was always busy. I would be like, no, 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 no. I would, if my boyfriend at the time would like, oh, okay, like, when can we go out? When we can this? And I'm like, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. And I would see him only like once a week or like like 2 times a month. And we literally live 10 minutes from each other. Like that's not okay. Maybe not 10. Maybe it's like well lived at the time like 15 minutes from each other. I feel like it's 15. Yeah. So it's not really a long walk, you know, but I never wanted because the minute I start dating someone, they start irritating me. And I remember I had this experience for the first time when I was 10. I started dating someone, and on the next morning, I was like, I hate this person. I cannot stand this person. Why did I start? How could I have any feelings for him? And I was so devastated. I was almost crying. I blocked him everywhere when I was 10. I'm like, I'm blocking you. He just like, why are you doing this? Why are you, you know? And I cannot understand what is going on in my mind. Why I liked this person yesterday, but now they like so disgusting to me, and I don't want to do anything like really close to them. Like I don't want to hang out with them, go to school with them. I don't want anything. Just like let me be. It was so confusing for the little me. But then I, you know, found out what is attachment style, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I have a problem. That's great. One plus one problem that I have in my life. Great. That I do not know how to deal with. Now I do. Now I do know how to deal with this. And I would just date people that were close to me because of because if you didn't know, there's a little funny fact in psychology. We like people that are close to us more because our brain associates similarity with some reason love or something. Yeah, because for example, if we work together or if we go to school together or we see each other regularly on some functions, it's called God, I forgot how it's called. Oh, it's called proximity crush. It's called proximity crush. Thank you. Mere exposure effect, because you see that person often. Brings sees similarity with something. I'm not sure what. I don't want to lie to you, but with something like positive, and like, oh, you like this person. Oh, you are destined to be with this person. Oh, you know. And when you have friend groups, I don't know, when I was like 14, 15, and I had these friend groups, I would see that person almost every day. I would play football with them and like joke and get food and spend the whole day with them. And I thought that I liked them. I would just look at their appearance and like, he's a decent person. Why not date him? But the little fact that I missed is that it's very important for me what the person's doing. If a person does nothing, it irritates me, and that's fine. I think that's fine. That's why I would not date people that, I don't know, I just love people who have hobbies. I love people who have goals in life. I love people who know what they're doing with their lives, and it's okay to figure out. But the person I was dating at the time, he didn't do anything. He would just play video games and call me and like, when can we go out? Which is fine, because it's a normal experience for teenagers to do it. We have to have time to figure out things. But me, at that time, I figured out what I wanted to do. I was doing it. I was already like climbing my way to the person I wanted to be, you know? I was working on it. I was, you know, I would be reading, I would be doing this and this and this and self-improving in so many ways. And that's why I required a lot for myself. And that's why I required a lot and require a lot from the person I was dating or will be dating in the future. But at the time, he didn't do anything. So I would be like, maybe you could start reading. Like, why don't you read, you know? I think two of my ex-boyfriends were playing video games, and I just hate, I cannot stand video games. I think because of that, because it kind of, in my mind, it kind of connected to people playing video games equals doing nothing, because they both were playing video games and basically doing nothing. And also, I don't want to come out and be like, these people were doing nothing or whatever. They did things, they helped their family or whatever, you know. But what I mean by doing nothing is for self-improvement. And I could sound like a jerk. That's fine by me, you know, because I'd rather be blunt than hide behind this like metaphors, like, or, you know, if it hurts you the way that I said it, fine, but I'd rather stay myself. And also, I told those people, like, we broke up, and after a while we had a closure, and I asked them if that's okay if I tell them the real reason. I mean, they asked for a real reason, like what was going on, and I told them. So that's fine by them, it's fine by me. It was a long time ago. It was like 5 years, 4 years ago. So yeah, my last relationship were when I was 15. That is just, you know, great. That's why these stories. I mean, if you think that me telling these things and I'm like, oh, you're so rude, you're such a jerk. No, I was just 15, you know. So yeah, I was very demanding, and I'm still very demanding. If I'm gonna be dating someone, and I think I will, hopefully, I'm gonna be demanding to the person I will be dating. I won't start dating a person only based on how they look, or like, oh, the jokes are funny, or, you know, that me has passed. You know, that me has passed a long time ago. But this video is not about how to choose your perfect partner, because I wouldn't know a thing, because I don't have anyone, so it's not, you know, I could tell you my opinion on that, but, you know, I'd rather not. So, saving yourself for later. Let's talk about saving yourself for later person-wise. For example, you met a great person, or you know a great person, and that person's like, oh, I like you so much, but I'm not ready for a relationship yet, you know, and you're like, okay, I'll wait. What for? Sure, maybe there are some stories where it ends with happy endings, and a person had a depression and they have to go out of it themselves and by themselves, and like, you know, but most cases it's not like that. Most cases it's like, I don't want to date, meaning I don't want to date you. And you're kind of saving yourself, and you postponing yourself in a way for that person. Because I had this happen to me when, little thing about me, when I like someone, I tell them straightforwardly, because I do not really care about messing up relationships or something like that. I really care about me being 80 and not having a regret of not telling someone I like them, and they're like, oh, they would be a perfect person for me. No, I don't really care if it messes up the friendship, because I have these feelings, so I'm gonna name them. So I would tell that person, I think it was autumn, I would tell this person, I have feelings for you, I have feelings for you, I have feelings for you, I have feelings for you. You know, this person knew that I have feelings for him. And he was like, I'm not ready to date. I don't want to date anyone. I don't want to date anyone. I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, I wasn't like, okay, fine. I had like a little mental breakdown. I'm like, no, why not me? Why not? You know, but that's fine. I was 15. I was 15. So yeah. And then in 3 months or 4 months, I was dating that person. I'm not saying this as to say, this was not the point of the story. He told me in full that he doesn't want to date me. I mean, that he doesn't want to date in general. And then 2 months later, I found out that he's dating someone else. And I asked him point blank, why? You said that you don't want to date anyone. Why are you dating her? And that was so weird because we stopped talking. Me and my friend stopped talking with these people. And then we saw them. It was their birthday or something. And his friend casually said that, oh, he has to go tomorrow to that city and pick up his girlfriend because she's coming from another city, on the train. So he has to pick her up. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's very interesting, So it's never, I'm not ready to date yet. It's always, I'm not ready to date you, Recently, I, again, was very blunt and I decided, and I remember the proximity crush thing. I liked a person, or I thought that I liked a person because I see him almost every week. I mean, more than every week, a couple times a week. And I'm like, oh, this person's so great. He's so amazing, But then I'm like, okay, think about it. What do you know about this person? Nothing. Their name, that they're attractive, that they might have similar interests to you. Don't really know much about them. And I just, okay, I'd like to get to know this person. So I shooted a long text. When I say long, it was long. And yeah, because I didn't want to keep it in and like, oh, well, does he look at me that way because of this? Or does he look at me this way because of this, And I didn't really want to guess. So I shoot a text and he's like, no, I'm not really interested, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it wasn't that straightforward, like that rude. It was more, but the main message was, I'm not in the stage of my life for that. And I'm like, great. I felt such a relief because, because I hate texting. I don't even know why I texted him. It would be so weird if he's like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, okay, a little note. I hate texting, So it played out for better. And it would be so unfair to myself if that person would say to me in this situation, like, for example, closer to the present, of like, oh, I'm not ready to date yet, but maybe in a few months. And I'm like, okay, let's look in. What are you looking in for? You have no ring on your finger. No one is calling you your partner or something. What are you looking in for? It's like doing a lottery. Maybe I'll win. There's like, I don't even know what chance is it in winning in lottery. But I'm gonna check. One shot in almost 14 million. It's so... And now it says 1 in 300 millions. Great, So I'll be like looking in for nothing. Like, I'll look in. I'll do this. I'll do this. Yeah. If winning a lottery takes this much, like a few million tries will get you a lottery ticket, then what made you think that getting that person to love you or like care for you will be faster? Even if it will be, we're still people. If someone is gonna feel forced to be with you, they're like, oh, I'll date when I'm ready. And if it's kind of worse if you in a company of friends and that person could see your every step, or like on social media, or you have not similar but like same friends, and like basically everyone is everyone they know, and your other friends is like, oh, yo, Ben started to, kind of being on dating apps, and you're like, wow, he said that he is not ready for a relationship. Why did he, there's something wrong with me. There's something. Is there a reason why he doesn't want to be with me? Is there? Yes, there is. Somewhere inside his mind, it works. Like, oh, and it's not always negative. It's not always negative, because there are people for whom you are too cool, you're too smart, you're too much. And in a good way, doesn't mean that you have to shrink yourself. For example, I have a lot of hobbies. I'm so weird if you will get to know me, I am such a weird person, and some people are not ready for it. So when someone says, no, I'm not ready to talk to you, no, I'm not ready to date you, no, I'm not ready to be friends with you, I'm like, okay, because I will not be shrinking myself for you to like me. I want to find a person with whom weirdness feels like normal. Like with whom I could be weird and they like, I love this. And I never feel the need to shrink it. For example, I get so excited over the smallest things. I don't know, I see a cute bird and I'm like, oh my god, this bird is so cute, but there are some people, obviously, that could be like, it's just a bird, relax, No, because it's my free will and I'm the person who's gonna be choosing my future partner. I will not let myself choose someone like that. I will not let myself choose someone who shrinks me just to make me normal. Like, why are you getting excited over a bird? Shut the freak up. If I want to, I will. But it's not gonna be with you. Bye. I want a crazy person like me. I would honestly date myself. The male version of myself. Because I know me. I like me. I want to spend the rest of my life with me. And if there's a person on this planet who is like me, but male version, I would love to get married and spend the rest of my life figuring out life with that person and traveling with this person and reading with this person and, talking about books with this person. Great. If there's not a person like that, I won't do it. Because the person you marry, the person you are with, even if you're not married, if you're only like dating or living together, is the most important person who's gonna influence your life the most. It's not gonna be your mother, it's not gonna be your family, it's not gonna be your friends, it's gonna be the person you are with, your partner. So if I'm not gonna find the person who, as weird as me, as excited about things as me, likes to do these things that, that's fine. Because I'm not Brad or, I don't know, a cute Stanley Cup or something like that. I don't need everyone to like me. I don't need to. Maybe I'm, I don't know what is like the most unlikable thing. It's like the most unlikable fruit, and only some people will like it. But when they will like it, they will like it with their whole heart, and you won't have to beg that person of like, oh, try this fruit. Like, you won't have to like beg a person to like, oh, like me, oh, try to to understand me, try to no, don't shrink yourself, and don't I feel like the reason why we settle in a relationship, and I hate the word settle, is because we are not told enough how beautiful, how unique, how special we are. And there's always a person who says that to you, even if you're not listening. So you're just not listening. That's why you're not hearing this person say it. You're unique. You're one of the kind. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And all these things says Jesus in the Bible. Jesus and God, because you're wonderfully and fearfully made is from Old Testament and Psalms. So don't complain that no one is telling you all these things, because there's literally, a man literally wrote a love letter in the form of a book that has 1,000 pages to you. Yeah, some of those chapters in the book are disturbing, but they still have a place to be, So don't say that no one compliments you, because he's always on your side. He's always rooting for you. And sure, you could write it off and being like, oh, what? I cannot really literally hear him say it, and I cannot literally hear him, but he's there. I'm not just, crazy confident in Jesus just because I'm crazy. You could say that. You could say that I'm crazy confident because of Jesus, but in the time of people faking until we're making it, I think it's better to trust Jesus than, relying on your own. And I'm not judging, because I used to be like, religion? God? No, I don't believe that. Scientifically, it doesn't make sense. Scientifically, but then, some amazing thing in my life happened. I found him. So, what I was referring to and I was talking to, a lot of times there are not a lot of people in our life that tell us how special we are and how unique we are. There are not a lot of people, not enough people to, because some people, their way of compliments is, you could have done better. That is their way of compliments, and that is also fine. I remember my dad, when I would, like, at the end of a year, I would get a grade table, like a table with my grades on it, and he would look over it, kind of frowning, and kind of like, why not A plus and B? What, you can't run better or something? And I'm like, no one has this grade. And he's like, you could be the first one. And he's like, why is this here, and why not this grade here, and not why this grade here, And right now, I think maybe that's how he, complimented people, which is very messed up in its own way. And if that's the only compliments we're gonna hear, very sad. Honestly, very sad. That's why we feel not unique, not enough, and why we settle for someone else. Where we're like, oh, this person is pretty, he makes me laugh, so that's enough. But that's not. But I guess for some people it is enough. I'm not a relationship specialist. So I wrote out some prompts or like things to say to you. You're not an unfinished gift being wrapped for someone else. Meaning, the meaning of it is what is written here. You're not an unfinished gift being wrapped for someone else. You're not a project that needs to be fixed. You're not something that should get, fixed or improved or something like that. You are your own person, and you are amazing in the way that you are, and kind of saving yourself and wrapping yourself up as like, oh, he will date me when I'll be this, or when I'll be this. Or I feel like a lot of guys feel like they need to get a car, an apartment, get rich, get this, and this for them to be in a relationship. And they're like, I'm not ready. I will be worthy of this when I'll get this and this and this and this. It's very weird that society makes us feel like that we have to have everything figured out before we can have a relationship, because there are for sure gonna be things that we will have to figure out. There are for sure gonna be things that we're like, okay, I'm not sure about that. You just have to find a person who you would like to figure out with. Who would you like to figure out how to raise a kid, or build a house, or who do you want there for you to help you out when one of your parents dies? That is the most important thing, that not needing a person, but wanting that person to be there for you. And imagine if a person says to you, did you ever dream of your perfect person? I don't believe in perfect, but like for the person you would like to be with, for them to first be like, oh, I don't like you, I don't want you, and then be like, yeah, I want you because I ran out of the options, and you're the closest one, and the better from proximity wise for me. And they just chose you because they ran out of the options. No. I never thought that. I don't know what you thought. I never thought that. I never even, kind of thought there's a possibility for it. For my future partner, I'm the only choice and the only option. Like, I don't want him to be like, oh, when I'll meet him or I'll meet a person and they're like, okay, you're great, but you're a little this and a little this, and I'm not ready for this, and this and this and this. And they're like, oh, okay, time is ticking, I'm 30, I need to settle down, my whole family tells me I need to settle down. They're like, okay, I'll marry you. No, thank you. Don't do that. Find someone else. I don't freaking care, because that sounds awful. The place I'm coming from is not like, oh, search for your perfect person, because there's no perfect person. There's literally no perfect person, and we are made to believe this, that there is perfect person, that there's soulmate for us, that there's a person God made for us. There's nowhere in the Bible that says that there's someone for you. You could have a fate of Paul. Paul didn't have a wife. He was traveling. Not going on vacation, but like traveling, and doing a lot of crazy things. A lot of crazy things happened to him. He didn't have a wife. How about that? Because some Christians, I feel like they're like, oh, God told me you're my wife. You know, that's like cliche pickup lines, it's cringy. God told me you're my wife. No, he didn't. God doesn't have a person who, like, oh, I'm being born and this person is being born, or like I'm being born and God is like, okay, this person's for you, gonna meet in 20 years. You know, no. It's much more complicated or easier. Depends on the way you look at it. I believe that there is no person for you out there. Like, there is no person right now in the world that is 100% for me. There's a person in this world that will suit me the most. I will meet them and I'll be like, okay, it suits. It feels comfortable. It, you know, they worked on their things, on their traumas, on their like things they work on themselves, and they're in a place to be in a relationship with me, and I'm in a place to be in relationship with them. But we had to work on it separately. We both in the same place in life, talking about financially or something, you know, maybe emotionally or like maturity wise, or, you know, that's why we suit each other so much. And that's why it would be a good idea to be together. I would want to be with this person, you know. And sure, then you can pray to God and ask for reassurance if this is a person for me, you know. But I don't believe there's a person, only one person on this earth that is for you, that they are born, they are born, and from the young age, God is like, okay, in 20 years you'll meet your wife. No, because there are so many decisions and there's so many things that will make a person, and he could end up the opposite of me. Like, I could be interested in this and this and this, and what if I would never learn English? Like, there's a high percentage that my future husband, is gonna be a person who knows English. What if I never learned English? You know, then this person that we think that God set out for us couldn't talk to me. He couldn't, you know. So, yeah, just that. Also, my camera is overheating again, and I don't know what to do. Okay, just a little reminders. You don't need to be chosen to be valuable or radiant. Live your life for you, not for the arrival of the next person. Okay, a question to ask you. Have you ever been waiting for someone else to validate the way you dress, speak, dream, or live? Because I have. When I told you about that person that I wrote the most recent message to, that I find them interesting, one night I knew the music he listens to, and I deliberately asked my friend while he was around, do you know this artist? You know, he's so good. And I felt such a fool. I never did it again. I wrote that message after that, so I would never feel such a fool of like, because the minute I need someone to validate me, I know I'm like, it's bad. Because the only person that should validate me is Jesus. And the only person I should seek validation is from Jesus and from myself. Yeah, some could say that it's selfish to seek validation from yourself, but it's the only way. From Jesus and then from yourself. The other people don't really matter. I mean, other people by strangers, like friends and whatever, family matters, yeah, in some point, but yeah. Okay, so the second one is don't postpone yourself until you become better. Or, you know, I'll start being more confident when I'm thinner or more healed or successful, or when I'll earn this amount of money or this amount of money. The myth of the ideal self keeps you from honoring your real self and from living real life. Because if you're gonna chase the future, you will lose the present. And the best way to begin is begin as you are. Okay, the problem is, what would it look like if you gave yourself full permission to begin now? Messy and all doesn't matter, just how would it look like? What would it look like? You know? Because we have this dangerous thinking of someday I'll travel when I have this, I'll travel when I'll have this, oh, I'll take this risk when I'll have this, and so on and so forth. And let's not do it. So thank you for being with me here, because I talked a lot, and I hope some of it helped you. And if it was unfocused and focused on the background this whole time, that's gonna be bad, because or I'm going blind. I don't know. Okay, so thank you. I'm gonna give you a hug now. If it makes you uncomfortable, well, turn the video off now. Bye.